Hey guys, I'm here taking a look at Eastern Sun. This is a mod to Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction, that is sort of a revamp or a revisioning of a lot of the aspects of the game. For example, the skills are redone, rune words are redone, there are plenty of new runes, set drop rates, and a lot of things have changed. So I like to go through these changes, highlight what I like about this mod and what I don't like. And I won't delay this any further, so let's jump right into it. First off, what I really like about this, the stash. You have a huge stash now and a huge inventory, and you begin straight off with the Horadric Cube, which I personally freaking love. This is like a much needed change. Now there are a lot of things I have to go through here, so just bear with me. Just keep calm and be patient, and I will go through everything, all of this. First off, Horadric Cube, lot bigger inventory space, awesome, love it, stashing and stuff. Like solved all the managing with the puzzle Tetris of your inventory, and you got infinite stash space. You got shared stash, so you don't need to make mules and have separate alts just to put stuff on them, which is awesome. So, what more has changed, you might ask? Well, they've changed the effects of pretty much everything. They've changed the effects of runes, for example, because there are new runes and new rune words. And since there are so many new runes, low-level runes as well as high-level runes, I have not gotten very far yet to illustrate the high-level runes. But you actually got a tool, a rune word calculator sort of, that shows you what rune word you can build, how many sockets you need, and what that rune word does and what it applies to. So that's very handy because you're going to have a lot of things to do with runes, alright? What more do I have to speak about? Oh yes, gems. Gems have been reworked and new ones has been added. For example, this one has been added, Obsidian, which in weapon and gloves gives enhanced damage and a chance for deadly strike. In rings, amulets and charms, you get attack speed and all resistances. And yes, you read that correctly. Rings, amulets and charms. You can now socket a lot of different things that you could not before. This includes belts, rings, amulets, and boots. So you can essentially socket anything right now, which is awesome. And you can see for yourself that a lot of different things has been changed with these gems. Like they've introduced a lot of the end game things like deadly blow, deadly strike, critical, not critical, but crushing blow, um, open wounds and stuff like that on much lower levels, implemented then on gear and on gems, so you can just put that in and be awesome straight from the beginning. Fucking love it. Anyway, I want to talk about these as well. Now you might be asking, what the hell is this? This is a coupon. See, normal Lord of Destruction uniques do not drop in this mod. It works so that enemies drop a coupon. And as you can see, it says Ancient Coupon, Heavy Gloves, the item level, cube-free coupons of a kind to make a Lord of Destruction unique with one socket. So essentially, if I was to have 3 of these Heavy Gloves Ancient Coupons, I could cube them to have a Lord of Destruction unique with one socket with it. That is specifically Heavy Gloves. So to get the elite and exceptional versions, i.e. the versions of Nightmare and Hell, you need to be in respective difficulty. So you can't just combine, say, 3 that says X gloves and then expect to get gloves. No, it has to specifically be the kind of weapon you get. So you can get all the kinds of uniques ranging. This is awesome. Really brilliant. Now, this is also a new thing. Fallen Heart and Souls. These are souls, for example. Now, I have no idea how these works. These are crafting materials I have not read up, and I have actually not found any illustrative way to figure out how the hell these work. So, I don't know. But supposedly there's crafting in this game, which is cool, in my opinion. What more? Yeah, I want to go over some other things as well. You can now have more effective gold sinks because I remember that you couldn't spend a lot of gold on things unless you gambled, and I like gambling, I do, which they buffed as well, and I will go through that later, but I want to illustrate some other things in the meantime. For example, you see here that we can buy flawless, blemished, and perfect. Actually, I didn't notice blemished is there. So that's a new thing between perfect and flawless, a new rank of gems, so to speak. But you can now buy gems for gold, which is cool, um, which allows you to, you know, get gems easier, build the build you want to build, and have the things you want to have for your build. It's a lot more forgiving in that aspect. You don't have to grind your sorry ass off to get setups of gems. A lot of things to go through, so I'll just carry on. They nerfed the cost immensely on weapons and skill increase weapons, because these suckers used to cost like 120,000 gold and stuff like that, but like gold costs have been significantly reduced, and gold selling as well. Like you can't pick up a bloody wand and just or scepter, and just because it has skill increase you can't suddenly sell it for 60k or something like that. No, it's very cheap prices now. It's low currency of gold that we're talking about. Also, there have been added new different types of armor and rings and amulets, or maybe not amulets, but rings at least, that is class specific. So the example you see here to Amazon, there's a specific head to Amazon. There are things especially for sorcerers, like this chest, for assassins, and stuff like that. So now we have a lot more of skill specific increasing of armor instead of just weapons increasing specific skills, which is brilliant in my opinion. That's really awesome. Now, I'd like to also showcase the skill tree, and bear with me, don't shit your pants now. This is really mind-blowing. So, here's the skill tree. Looks sort of the same, you might say, but you're wrong. See, if I hold one of these, you start to notice that, wait, sacrifice receives bonus from zeal, vengeance, hypnoblast, redemption. So the focus on a lot of these things is that you're supposed to have a lot more synergy with your spells. It's not just that one spell benefits from one other skill or none. It's a lot more so that a lot of things play into the synergy, which is brilliant in my opinion, because then you can do a lot more of a diverse build. Also, you see on some skills that you get a baseline point, for example on Arrow on Confession. I think this only works with a bow, so you can actually do a bow paladin if you want. I don't know, each to their own, I suppose. But you can see here it says general passive bonus, and this is what it gives in the base of the talent if you take it. So it gives 5% attack rating per base point and 2% per base point to pierce. So essentially what you're seeing here is like beyond just the use of a talent, you get base points on some of these talents. Now, this is a button you might have noticed that hasn't been there before. And you're right, it hasn't. And it's a brilliant button because you know what it does? You see here, you can already tell from the skill or the text, but I want to illustrate this very fast. Like you see here, I have 10 in Zeal at the moment. I click this, BAM! BAM! All my skills reset. And you might wonder, how many times can I do this? As many as you bloody please. It's brilliant. It's brilliant because it's also very needed, and I'll cover that in a moment. Just bear with me. I'm just going to reinstitute my build a bit here. I'm playing Zealadin with Holy Freeze. Let's see here, max out Zeal, then max out Sacrifice. Yeah, there you go. Also, a lot of the different skills has changed. It's an overhaul. It's not all of the same old skills. For example, in auras, might is now a scaling thing that is later on in the tree. Requires level 18, but it gets a lot of amplification of a lot of different other skills and increases the damage done by you and your party. So not just you, it's an actual aura now, not just a personal thing. We got this new one as well, Protection from Evil, which does my damage to demons slash undead and my attack to demons and undead in a aura around me and knocks them back in a radius, which is pretty awesome, pretty brilliant if you ask me. But yeah, that's sort of to give you an idea what they're going with the skills. And I want to highlight some as well with the gambling. Yes, I look like a sturdy paladin. They changed stuff with the gambling, so it's a lot higher chance now to get set items, to get uniques, and stuff like that from gambling. So gambling has become a lot more interesting. I have personally not tried it out yet because I've had problems with the gold, and I'll cover that in a moment why that is. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say about that, and then we'll take a bit of a look at some of the different things we'll see in the different acts and shit like that. So let's just go to sewers, for example. Now it looks exactly the same, and you're right, it is exactly the same, but there is one major difference that you will see as I go in here. We'll run along here and you'll see that, wait, salamanders? There's not supposed to be salamanders in the sewers. They're supposed to show up later on in the act. Well, guess what, sucker? It doesn't work like that anymore. Now you can face off like a lot of different types of mobs that are not exclusive to the act areas. So you're gonna see a lot of different new types of mobs as well. In addition to just different sorts of mobs being spread out, and this allows for the game to be a lot more difficult. I had my ass handed to me several times before level 10 because some packs, like normal mobs here, they're not that hard, but some packs are incredibly difficult. They are incredibly difficult. I've even seen immunity, the physical and stuff like that, or immunity to cold in normal difficulty in Act 1. So that's always something to keep in mind, that the game has become a lot more difficult. It's not just raining loot on you. It's a lot different now. And now, while it might not seem that difficult at the moment, well, you're right, it ain't that difficult at the moment, but when you face off with a boss, you have like 2 bloody packs and 20 mobs, like, barging down on your sorry ass, and you're standing there trying to fend them off. You ain't that much of a tough guy anymore. It's pretty hard. So that's also why you got the whole stat reset thing going for you. To showcase some of the mobs, they ain't here right now, so I can't showcase them, but I can tell you about them. Some of the mobs, to give you examples, is, for example, hidden. They are stealth mobs that teleport around, much like the spirits in Act 3, and they shoot lightning at you, and they look ugly as fuck. As far as I'm concerned, they're real ugly. And yeah, you'll see gargoyles as well. And gargoyles is a very special form of an annoying mob, because just like a gargoyle, they can adapt to a stone form, and you can't damage them while they're in a stone form. So right, here you see that I'm getting swarmed by a lot of mobs, and if it wasn't for that, I'm playing a Zealot with Holy Freeze, which is incredibly good in my opinion, at least here. I know that ain't good in hell and stuff like that, because, well, immunities, simply put. But, like, without the Holy Freeze, we'd see, like, that I would get my ass handed to me by these mobs. Because these hurt, alright? These hurt. So what more has changed in the game that I want to highlight and show to you guys? A lot of different sort of, what's it called? Affixes and suffixes to weapons and armor has been implemented as well, which is really awesome, really brilliant in my opinion. To showcase this, I'm just going to kill some of these mobs first. Like, they're bloody endless. But to showcase this, I have a belt, for example, on me currently that increases cold damage. And as far as I'm concerned, this hasn't been available on blues and low-level items before in the normal Diablo 2. So that has been reworked and redone. What more do I want to talk about in this game? A lot of the influences you'll see in this game is Asian based, which I personally think is bloody awesome. You'll see stuff like necromancers starting out with a scythe, a two-hander. You'll be like reaping souls. Admittedly, skeletons become later on, which sort of saddens me a lot, actually. But yeah, it's very cool. You get to see specific Asian themed helmets and stuff like that. There's a hidden, like, See, you can see he's teleporting around. They get stealth. They shoot lightning at you. Real ugly. But yeah, it's a lot of like Asian influence from it. The quests are the same, sadly. Like you're still doing the same quests and stuff like that. So it's a lot of still the old authentic feel, but still a lot of quality of life changes that makes this game incredibly fun to play. Like I normally don't play Diablo 2 without friends, but playing this I just lost track of time and I found it real funny. What more do you have to say? Yeah, they added skill-specific rings. I think these are rings at least, or not skill-specific, class-specific that increase skills. So we're going to identify this ring. This is a sorcerer ring, and we see fireball, charge ball, and magic find. So skill increases is very common on these, and they are class-based, so you can equip these, and it's sort of like amulets, the rare amulets you used to find, except that these are pretty common to find, and you can find them to your class. Is awesome. I love it. I just want to check what the small charm is. Bloody brilliant. Anyway, what more do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, the act bosses have had their drop rates significantly changed. So to take an example and illustrate, do you remember Andario? Of course you remember Andario, the big tit bitch from Act 1 in the beginning. Oh, not the beginning, the end of Act 1. When I killed her the first time on normal here, I got 2 flawless gems and some other things, which really signifies that drops have been altered. Oh wait, my weapon is broke. I didn't even notice, I was so busy talking about the game. That a lot of the drop rates have been altered in such a way that it's truly reliable to just play self-find. You don't need to go around and trade with people, which I think is bloody awesome because I treat this pretty much as a single-player game. Now, here's an item I also like to showcase or shout out is a socket donut. It is exactly what it sounds like. um, you get, yeah, it says on it what you get. You can socket things with it, but it costs 79,000, and yeah, it's a gold sink, simply put. But pretty awesome, pretty awesome. What more do I want to showcase? To illustrate the drop rates actually and some of the differences, I want to go a different build and I want to go down into Act 1 Catacombs and kill Andariel, just to give you guys sort of a view of how things currently are. So let's see here, what do I want to build? You know what, I'll be as boring as just going the same build. Kidding. Almost got you there. We'll go a crushing blow build, I think. Wait, can I just max this out? Oh lord, I am so derp. Anyway, I'm actually just gonna go my old build. Sorry guys. Sorry for the inconvenience. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Don't need to hang up on me quite yet. We're just gonna go here in a cloister. There we go. So what more do you have to look forward to in this game? A lot of the high-end level rune words, like runes, like you remember you had to farm for them quite a lot. You don't anymore. You don't, truly, because they changed the drop rate, so runes drop at even from just straight out from the get-go, like level 1 and stuff like that. You can get runes. And I've shown you some of the runes I have. And that's pretty awesome. That's pretty bloody brilliant in my opinion that they've done so that you can do that. And there's plenty of low-level rune words. There's plenty, a lot of the focus of the rune words lay on the higher-level rune words, however, which is still pretty awesome in my opinion. We'll try to identify this. First, plus 30 defense. I think that's pretty good. So yeah, I'll keep that. What more do I have to say about this game and what I think about it? Any bad spots so far? Yeah, some of the bad spot is that it's like sometimes it's sort of gimmicky or not gimmicky, but it's sort of, how do I put it? It's sort of annoying. Say for example, if you don't have enough hit rating to actually hit mobs and you're low level, so you don't get attack rating gear, or you don't simply skill, you don't put stats into dexterity that lower level. It sort of breaks the gameplay because I don't like having 50% hit chance when I'm facing up with 20 mobs and I have to carry them around for a lot of time. So as you can see, these mobs bloody hurt. This is Act 1 mobs, and I have 400 HP. Like, I have 83 vitality, I'm level 22. I'm getting my ass kicked by these mobs. Oh, I'm dying. So, yeah, they increased the difficulty of the game overall, and increased the experience as well. So you got like a lot more even XP distribution. It's not like gonna be level 20 when you finish Act 1. Or normal, I mean, not Act 1.
I am overburdened.
Right. So we're heading downwards. Downwards into the catacombs. What more do I have to say about this? Yeah, there's some technical things I'd like to mention. You will find this in the description below as well, with a link to the game. That you actually have to have a original CD of Lord of Destruction to be able to play this, or if you're a filthy pirate, you can actually play it with having a mounted image of the game. Now I personally have the actual CD to Lord of Destruction, so it's none of my concern in such a way. Just thought you guys want to know in case you want to try this mod, and it's free, which is awesome. What more do I have to say about it? You can play this on via Hamachi on local area network. However, it shuts down Battle.net, so you can't play this on Battle.net, but there are specific servers with this. I've not been to them personally, but I've heard from others that they're awesome, really helpful community, really nice people. So, you know, go check that out if you feel like it. None of my issues, none of my concerns. I think I've gone through a majority of the changes of the game so far. Like, you've gotten a view of it. This is also a new form of mob here that we can face off with. The Black Knights! Come back here, knave! It's but a flesh wound. Oh god. And this is what this is what I mean, that it's bloody difficult. Like, you just get swarmed with fucking minions. Like, if I just try to face tank all of these at once, I'm dead. It's just that simple, I'm dead then. And I even have like, oh wait. I was wondering why I was killing her so slowly. No wonder. Sorry, I didn't notice. You're gonna yell at me about that in the comments. But is there anything else I'd like to mention about this? No, I don't think there is anything else I would like to mention about this. I will probably just record this because I think it's fun to play. I feel very comfortable doing commentary over it. And if you guys watch this far and you feel like you like this content or dislike this content, feel free to comment, rate or subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys when next the sun sets in the east. Goodbye.